There's a manifesto. I know. Here. At least 10 are dead in a mass shooting at Buffalo supermarket, authorities say. A gunman sporting a rifle and body armor opened fire in a supermarket in Buffalo, New York. I know he has a 180-page manifesto. He's a racist, Nazi, eco-fascist, 4chan dude. I know. I've been looking at the details on the side. He's just like standard white genocide rant. There are a lot of 4chan jokes within the fucking arguments that he's making in his manifesto. And he streamed it on Twitch. He live streamed it on Twitch. He was a white supremacist who live streamed it on Twitch. Okay? Like, stochastic terrorism is back. Surprisingly. Straight up motivated and inspired by Christchurch mosque shooter piece of shit. Yeah. Details of the number of additional people shot at the Tops Friendly Market and their conditions weren't immediately available. The two officials were not permitted to speak publicly on the matter and did so on the condition of anonymity. Investigators believe the man may have been live streaming the shooting and were looking into whether he had posted a manifesto online. The official said, yes, there is a manifesto online. The official cautioned the investigation was in its preliminary stages. Sorry. And that the authorities hadn't yet discerned a clear motive, but were investigating whether the shooting was racially motivated. I mean, the dude fucking literally dropped the manifesto. And once again, it's a similar pattern to previous shootings similar pattern to previous shootings like the Christchurch one, where the dude was a fucking white supremacist, according to the information that's readily available. Supermarket is in a predominantly black neighborhood. A lot of people are saying Christchurch, but this also resembles the El Paso shooting from that white supremacist who was also an eco-fascist white supremacist 4chan user who literally went to El Paso specifically so he could kill Mexicans, which he declared were illegally here. And this one, he went into a black neighborhood about 3 miles north of downtown Buffalo. The surrounding area is primarily residential with a Family Dollar store and a fire station near the store. Buffalo police confirmed the shooter was in custody in a tweet, but did not identify the suspect. Police officials and a spokesperson for the supermarket chain did not immediately respond to the messages from the AP seeking comment. Witnesses reported the gunman was wearing a military-style clothing in addition to body armor, one of the officials said. Braden Kephart and Shane Hill, both 20, pulled into the parking lot just as the shooter was exiting. They described him as a white male in his late teens or early 20s, sporting full camo, black helmet, and what appeared to be a rifle. He was standing there with a gun to his chin. We were like, what the heck is going on? Why does this kid have a gun to his face? Kephart said. He dropped to his knees. He ripped off his helmet. He dropped his gun and was tackled by the police. Police closed off the block, lined by spectators, and yellow police tape surrounded the full parking lot. What is this? The same Buffalo PD that pushed down that elderly George Floyd protester for merely holding a sign on the sidewalk. Yeah. There it is. This is actually the same fucking... Yeah, you're right, actually. It is the same Buffalo Police Department, before we forget. They almost killed a fucking old leftist guy. Remember when Donald Trump then said he was like a fucking CIA agent or some shit? America, baby. America, once again. Yeah, Governor Kathy Hochul tweeted that she was closely monitoring the shooting at the grocery store in Buffalo, her hometown. She says state officials have offered to help local authorities. The Erie County Sheriff's Office said on social media that it ordered all available personnel to assist the Buffalo police. Attorney General Merrick Garland was briefed on the shooting. And Justice Department spokesperson Anthony Coley said the shooting came little more than after a year on March 2021, attack at King Soopers grocery in Boulder, Colorado that killed 10 people. Investigators have not released any information about why they believe that man charged in the attack targeted the supermarket. Yes.
An arbiter has cleared two police...
Oh, speaking of the Buffalo Police Department, yeah, they were cleared in the case of shoving that 75-year-old protester. And if you recall...
Caught on camera during a protest...
I'm not going to show you everything, but they shoved him and his brain was leaking out of his ears by the end of that process, and he almost fucking died. But also, they, what do you call it? If you remember, the Buffalo Police Department literally fucking turned around and said they were going to do a mass quitting. if any of the officers were prosecuted for this violent action. Anyone recognizing a human race superior to other human race must be committed. No, I know why he targeted the store. If the manifesto is true, then the reason why he targeted the store is because there were a higher percentage of black people at that store. That's why I said it's similar to El Paso. The El Paso shooter targeted a Walmart in El Paso specifically, despite living in another part of Texas, because that's where all the, in his words, that's where all the undocumented migrants were. He thought that he could kill as many Mexicans as possible. A manifesto has been published on Poll, credibly claiming to be written by the guy who carried out this attack. It's a standard fascist white genocide rant filled with 4channy in-jokes a la Christchurch shooter. Most obviously, he gives Sam Hyde's picture as his own. The manifesto is easily enough to find if you want. Big take always are, he claims he picked the target because he did it in an area with the highest black population in his state and has strict gun control. He said he wanted to shoot up the place with strict gun control. He also states that he hopes his shooting will have an impact on gun control discourse that will further radicalize Americans. Again, this is all very similar to the Christchurch manifesto. The shooter claims Brendan Tarrant did the most to radicalize him. The shooter, allegedly 18, says he was deep into communist ideology as a 12-year-old, but moved to far right from 15 to 18. Brendan's live stream started everything you see here. Brenton started my real research into the problems with immigration and foreigners into our white lands. Without his live stream, I would likely have had no idea what the real problems the West is facing. This is not a surprise to anyone, but he identifies the internet as his main vector of radicalization. He says little to no in-person conversations contributed to his actions. It's worth noting that he claims to be fine with LGBT people, but not trans people. He also expresses belief that most police officers are decent people, and he hopes not to shoot any of them. In the manifesto, his primary motivation, stated repeatedly, is anti-immigration. The shooting was live streamed. They are presumably archived somewhere. From this, we can see he wrote on his rifle, a la Brendan Tarrant, the 14, which is a reference to the Nazi 14 words, which appears fully in his manifesto, which is 180 pages long. His gun had the marking 14 on it because he's a white supremacist piece of shit. For some confirmation of this photo, the arrest appears to show someone in the same camo. The arms are different than the chest on the shirt. It also has the N-word hard R on it. Oh, there you go. Part of the reason why we do what we do in this situation, part of the reason why I work as hard as I possibly can to fucking de-radicalize people is because these kind of fucking freaks that are riddled with mental illness and also angry, violent people that will take advantage of said mental illness to direct them into the really horrifying and white supremacist acts of violence, can't get away with doing shit like that. But I don't know. I don't know what to do. When stuff like this happens, I don't know what to do. You know the right wing's going to weaponize the fact that he used to be a communist at fucking 12? I mean, yeah. I'm in Buffalo right now. What's wild to me is that we have a huge abortion rally today downtown at the same time that this was happening. Kind of reminded the chat, this is why you don't even joke about that shit with us on. Lots of people don't know you're joking. Yeah, 100%. And this is something that we deal with on a daily basis here. So, what does 14 mean? 14 is a numerical. I mean, it's just like an inside joke among Nazis to signal to one another that they're Nazis. 14 refers to the 14 words. It refers to the 14 words, which is basically we must secure an existence for white people. I think it's like 14 words total. I don't know. I'm paraphrasing the 14 words currently. It's just white supremacist nonsense. Another number that is a signifier that someone is a another number that's a signifier is also 88, which is 14 also can be A and H. A and H, right? No. Well, 88 is sorry, not A and H. 88 is Heil Hitler. Sorry. So 1488 is a reference to the 14 words. and also to Hitler. This is the 8th letter of the alphabet. Why are we letting them have these numbers? I like the number 88. It has nothing to do with this. So frustrating. Well, you know, it's been a long time. They've been doing this for a very long time. Yes, it was streamed on Twitch. Wait 1 second. Yeah, he streamed it on Twitch. He has I'm looking at his user card right now. I mean, it's deactivated already. Twitch, of course, immediately deactivated his card, or deactivated his user. What? Your name is in the screenshot? What the fuck are you talking about? Brendan Tarrant is no, I don't want a clip. But you know, they immediately suspended his Reddit. They immediately suspended his Twitter. Or they immediately suspended his Twitch account. Oh, it's from your own screenshot. You're okay. Hold on. Yeah, he's not. It might have. I mean, he's been around for a long time, but it doesn't seem like he's logged in any of the. It doesn't seem like that username is logged in any of the big like accounts. I'm looking at it now. In the suggested channels, the chatter's not logged in. It shows your bubble. It's nothing for you specifically. Yeah, no, I understand. Yes, he says in his manifesto, he talks about how he was motivated by. Hold on. He was motivated by Brendan Tarrant, the Christchurch shooter. Brendan has no name now. He doesn't fucking deserve to be remembered for that shit he did. Yeah. Disturbing gunman live stream shooting on Twitch under the name Jimbo Boy. No, I'm just a recommended streamer because I was live at the time and I'm one of the top streams. Yes. That's it. Dude, Twitch should look into who the fuck was watching too, honestly. Yeah, no, he live streamed it on Twitch. There's a footage of it on the internet. I don't want you to obviously link it. People watching might have known it was going down. What? Yeah, it had 20. The screenshot I just saw was 22. Had 22 viewers. Local leftist journalist interviews an eyewitness.
A strap. Then he took his gloves off, and the police was sitting there pointing the guns at him. He took his gloves off. He did something with his boots, and then he took his bulletproof vest off and dropped it on the ground. And then he got on the ground, put his hands behind his back, and then they arrested him. It was a white guy in army fatigue, glasses. I don't know what he looked like because he had glasses on.
Just one guy?
One guy that I saw. That's it, shooting. And they said, yeah, he was fully, it looked like he had everything on. I don't know nothing about none of that stuff. I don't play, so, yeah, he was fully armed and shooting people. Unbelievable. He was on a strap, then he took his gloves off.
Um, whoever was tuned in right away knew it was going to happen. That's a fact, period. No, dude. I mean, there are people who fucking probably tuned in because they monitor this shit, okay? Obviously, there are people who monitor this stuff because they're monitoring 4chan, because they monitor extremist behavior. So you see that that's apparently from this from his Discord? Okay, don't show me like, oh, there's a to-do list on his Discord. Continue writing the manifesto, fix leftism, equality, X. Clean and oil AR, fully load mags is March 5th, 2022. Write important list of guns on Sharpie. Continue to do assemble kit fully X. Write 4chan, 8chan, and Discord post. Link to Discord and Twitch. All links to manifesto and Discord transcript. Fully charge and replace batteries and speaker. GoPro phone, charger and car. Swordins X. Assemble magazines when springs arrive X. Make goodbye list X. Why does he keep? Oh, he's marking them off as like. Yeah, I mean, this is the same profile that is everything. Like, that's on everything. Whether it be Reddit, whether it be his Twitch stream that he streamed on. His Twitch profile had been around since 2017. I looked at it. It's already been deactivated. His Reddit profile, I couldn't get a better understanding of like where his Reddit profile was, but he's also Reddit profile has also been deactivated. I don't know how old it was. Yeah, make better map and draw out the plan, upgrade the spectrum, unlimited plus if possible, put anti-fog solution on glasses. ACH rails do work on ECH helmets because shape is the same. However, the ECHs use 17.5 millimeter hardware instead of 15. Got to fix that. Get lithium AAA batteries to put in the Swordins in Buffalo. Has live stream function before the actual attack, which also corresponds to his Twitch. Twitch only had 2 live streams, one before to test it, and then one of the shooting. If it repeatedly drops below 1,000 kilobytes, I'm gonna have to do 480p. Get super glue and super glue helmet mount to helmet. Those were his. Unfortunately, Discord is really bad for this kind of extremist shit. You can get away with it so much because of the inherently private nature of Discord group chats, private servers. If one from the outside finds and reports it, it stays around, which is fucked. Yes. They yeah. It's not just 4chan, chat. It's not. Like, I mean, you think it's just 4chan radicalizing people, but it's not just fucking 4chan radicalizing people, okay? This motherfucker had a Discord. There are literally, right now as we speak, there are people in Discord servers that, like, probably were either in this Discord server or in the next Discord server where this shit's gonna pop off that watch this stream. Okay? You have to understand that this is, like, such a prevalent thing on the internet and so incredibly common. It ties back to the mental illness that I was talking about of like people fucking behaving this way. It ties back to white supremacist attitudes being allowed to manifest. It ties back to, most importantly, our material conditions and what drives people into doing shit like this. I mean, it just, there is no way to solve it either. You just like, our gun laws. He said in his manifesto he got radicalized when he stumbled upon Poll during the 2020 election. Yeah. The archives of his Reddit account don't show any outright involvement in any community except the gun community. All his history was weapon-related inquiries and literally buying weapons off it. Yeah, Reddit was probably his main source of like gun-related information because you can get a lot of specialized information on Reddit and access to a lot of specialized information on Reddit. But it is very, very easy to what? The scariest thing about this is the multiple people plan this, so it may happen again. I guess the guy he mentioned as integral in his radicalization is semi-famous, I guess. No, dude, it's just another white supremacist shooter. He's saying he watched Christchurch happen when Brendan Tarrant went into a mosque and assassinated a bunch of Muslims who were praying at a mosque in Christchurch. Jabuki said, wild that the government has an itemized list of every time and place a rapper has sneezed in the past year, but no way to stop mass shooters who publicly worship their manifestos online. Yeah, that's the other part of it, which is fucking insane. Like, I mean, I don't want, like, ridiculous free speech restrictions. This dude very directionally and very purposefully went in to Tops in a black neighborhood that he's not from so he could kill as many black people as possible, which is, you know, he wrote about it in his fucking manifesto.
Today in our great city. So I'm not going to give you his name.
There is no us versus them in this situation unless you are literally identifying with the Nazi. Okay? The only us versus them in the situation is like violent fucking psychos trying to kill us, okay? All of us, normal people.
PD in my office are drafting the charges right now.
So like, oh, us versus them, like, you know, the blacks get to do it, so why can't we? Good shot, good job, dude. Please don't become the next shooter, okay?
A life without parole sentence. Now, there are two aspects of the murder in a first-degree charge that potentially could be charged here. The one, obviously, is crystal clear right now. There is a certain subdivision of the murder in the first degree that accounts for multiple individuals getting shot and killed, which is what we have here. As the commissioner said, we have 10 individuals who have unfortunately lost their life, 3 that have been shot but are going to...
Also, the fucking dude in the New York subway train station was way more sussy than this one. This is very clear cut, open and shut. You got a white supremacist dude who got radicalized on the internet, openly says it, went to kill fucking black people, just like in El Paso. The other dude in New York, incredibly suspicious, happens to fucking drop his credit card on the ground, literally is able to get away scot-free, not a single person. None of the cameras are working at the fucking subway station that they're in. That was an insane situation. I mean, he was as close as you can get with the FBI designation to a black identity extremist as you can. I'll give you that. But incredibly suspicious. He made a phone call himself to turn himself in as well. That, it seems a little bit closer to the Gretchen Whitmer style kidnapping that wasn't a case that is eligible for any kind of like serious crime or a serious criminal punishment, if you know what I'm talking about. Because like there are instances where white supremacists engage in acts of violence or try to engage in acts of violence and get caught. And you know that I have been very open-minded about the federal government's role in situations like that. That's not a conspiracy Andy situation. The Gretchen Whitmer is currently being deliberated in court, and actually the FBI law is losing the fucking case. That's not a conspiracy Andy. That's just facts, you fucking dumb idiot. Just like the many instances where the FBI routinely fucking tried to engage in entrapment with like, you know, Down syndrome or autistic Muslim kids on the fucking internet. Just go do a little act of terrorism. That's not a fucking conspiracy. That's what a conspiracy theorist would say. No, there's a difference between a conspiracy theory, okay, that is untrustworthy and maybe a little crazy. Me saying the shooter in the train station is sussy, that's bordering on it, okay? Me talking about Gretchen Whitmer and the case is not a conspiracy theory, considering the reality that, like, that's currently happening. It's in the court. The text messages, if you read the text message between the CI, the FBI informant, and the actual fucking 3%ers and shit, you will realize that they were the ones who were heavily motivating the dudes into this act of violence. I don't get the hostility. I'm just coming in and giving my take. I don't want to hurt. What the fuck is that bullshit? Ban him? I think he was shooting at everyone, but nobody wants that. Dude, you're being annoying. Take a day off, okay? I think you might be drunk. Yeah, in April 2022, the two of the perpetrators were acquitted on all charges on grounds of entrapment by federal authorities. They literally got away after fantasizing about kidnapping Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Now, the reason why I mention this, is because, like, understand that this is what the fucking agencies do. This is what the federal government does. And I'm also showcasing to you that I am unbiased when it comes to this sort of shit, because I was on the Gretchen Whitmer case. Once I saw the text messages, I was like, well, this seems a little bit more like entrapment. Okay? So it's not a white versus black situation for me, at the very least. Okay? I'm not very trusting of the federal government when it comes to this sort of stuff.